Hey everyone, welcome to the Totally Well Show. I'm your host, Joyce Strong. The Totally Well Show is a place where we get curious, ask questions, and explore everything to do with health, wellness, fitness, personal development, helping people, and all the things it takes to help you live the highest quality, most fulfilling life. We're going into part 2 of interviews with Tamara Pflug. Tamara can be found at personal-development-zone.com. And don't forget to tune into her podcast, which is Get Confident, Get Happy. It's a wonderful podcast where she really digs deep into lots of personal development issues. On part 1 and part 2 of the episodes on the Totally Well Show, we're going to talk about nonviolent communication, which is a 4-part method of communicating, understanding your feelings, sticking to facts, avoiding judgment, and really helping connect with another person with empathy and compassion to find a peaceful way to get everyone's needs met. So I hope you'll tune in. It's a life-changing method, and I absolutely adore my friend Tamara and think the world of her, and we'll learn so much, and you will too. So I will see you on the other side of the episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm happy to hear you say that, because when I first started to learn the method through my coaching training, it felt very cumbersome, like stilted, kind of trying to communicate that way with specific language, and awkward.
It's true.
But the more that I use it and the more I see it, then I start to listen to, even I'll catch myself making a judgment or a demand, and I can step back and apply it kind of on the fly now.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's really powerful. I think it's really good. But again, feelings and needs, we should have a list, to even know, because now when I'm talking, for example, needs, even because I'm supposed to have followed all the course, I took the course of Marshall Rosenberg, so I'm supposed to be really good on needs, but sometimes I'm still asking myself, wait, what need isn't being met? And it's hard, to find a solution to a problem when you don't even know where is it, inside of you, it's frustrating also, there's nothing worse about it, because it's you don't really know why you feel this way, you don't really know how you feel, and you don't really know what you want to feel instead. So it's really hard. So this method, I think, is already a good way to get a solution.
When you're talking about feelings, can you give me some ideas of what would be like typical feelings versus what might be judgments?
It's really interesting that you're talking about judgment, actually, because probably, wait, I will just look, because probably, not probably, but I mean, for judgment, probably it's something, if I'm trying to read between the lines, something that is important, that is, I don't know, probably you have some thoughts about judgments and stuff, no? Because to make it the different, it's interesting that you're saying this. So, for example, feelings, you have, here I have a list of feelings, actually, for example, for confidence, by example, random example, you have feelings you can feel, for example, bold, capable, eager, empowered, energetic, focused, hopeful, optimistic, productive, proud, safe, secure, trusting. All of these feelings are just could be in a situation of when you feel a feeling of self-confidence. So in this moment, it's really more about the way you are feeling, inside of you, of yourself. And judgment, you are putting it together. But for me, feelings, it's really more about what the person is talking, because I would never, for example, talk about somebody else's feeling. For example, you feel like, I'm trying to say when it's something like not a bad feeling, but a negative feeling, for example, you feel devastated, but I cannot really read what's going on inside of the other person. So the judgment, when do you see the judgment actually coming in here?
Well, you're basically what you're just saying. I think maybe we're just using the word in different ways.
Possible.
So I don't know what's going on inside that person's head, and so if I say, in that case, you're saying you're telling somebody how they feel, so you're making an assessment or a judgment on them. Or I think in Marshall Rosenberg's work, he gives an example. Somebody keeps speaking up at a meeting and interrupting, and one way he could say it would be, you keep speaking at the same time I'm speaking. Another way he could say it is, you have a big mouth.
Exactly. You're right. So
that second way is a judgment. I'm putting a value or a label on a fact, which maybe he doesn't have a big mouth, maybe there's some other reason behind it, and it's irrelevant. Maybe he does have a big mouth, in my opinion, but it's irrelevant to moving us forward to getting our needs met.
Exactly. No, I would say that actually this is why the first step is very important, to stay on facts. Because, for example, when you say you have a big mouth, it's not facts and action. It's really like specific interpretations from someone. So here, when you are really focusing on what's happening, the other one is not, he cannot really say anything about it, because this is what really happened, you know, like you're talking a lot. Well, actually, when you think about it, a lot, your example, because maybe a lot, it depends also what is a lot, you know, in a meeting, for example, you talk twice. But I think that this is why when you bring to facts and you're trying to focus, it's never easy. Like, we're just human beings. But then you're bringing the fact that this is how you're feeling towards the fact that he's talking a lot. For example, he's taking too much space. So you're feeling like unloved, or I don't know, because your need of appreciation at work is important. When you're bringing it this way, then it's, the focus is not on the situation but that caused the feeling, but really the way you're feeling. And then the last step of making a demand is really making like things clear, that what do you want instead, and the other one really just want to help, even if they may feel offended. I agree, from the judgment of the first step. It's not easy, you're right, and you found really the little thing that we can Marshall Rosenberg will be proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Well, you too. It is. It sounds very simple. I'll often present it as training wheels. Like, these are the training wheels for how you use it. But when you go to apply it and then figure out, and even like between you and I, just some, I think there are just some word differences. Like, where I was using judgment, I think you were using interpretation. But I think they mean maybe the same thing for us.
Exactly, probably it's the same. But I will tell you also, this is about personal development. It's so much, you know, like people will use, for example, emotions and feelings. I receive emails asking me, what are the difference between emotions and feelings? You know, and sometimes I'm even like, what is the difference between emotions and feelings? So as long as, you know, I think the step already of like understanding what's going on inside of us, like what's alive, like Marshall Rosenberg is really focusing on this, and being empathetic towards ourselves, like the way we feel, but also towards like the way other people may feel in the situation. It's already like an amazing step. Because, for example, since I learned this method, when I see someone getting super mad, I'm looking at them and I feel sorry for them, you know, because you feel like this person's struggling with a need that's not being met, and you don't take things personally anymore, you know. This is amazing, you know, like you see someone super mad, he's not mad at you, you know, in the end. It's really like something for him. And if you really love this person, which I think I hope for everybody that is watching and here, that we are surrounded by people who love, and we just want the best out of everyone. Like, you just want to help this person, and hopefully this other person wants also to help. And maybe if you make a face like, can you please just put the socks in the dirty bag? They will just do it, you know. Because usually we're like, the socks are here, just put them away. Nobody wants to do anything.
Or you're lazy, or you don't care about me, you know, those kinds of things, right?
Yeah, this is a bit exactly the situation that we're trying to avoid, but still getting a result, you know, like, fine. Yeah.
So I have a question. When maybe you can help explain how to improve this situation with when clients come to see me for weight loss, for example.
Okay.
They'll come in and they'll say, well, this sounds like a good idea. I'll do this protocol, or I'll personalize personalize a protocol for the person. And then they start talking about their family, particularly a spouse, and they'll say, well, he has to do, you know, he has to, or she has to stop bringing ice cream home or eating in front of me. And I'm going to tell him. So they say statements like that. So how could I coach a person in that situation to be more clear about what their needs are and get their needs met?
Yeah, this is a really
what
good
are
question.
their needs? What's really going on for them?
Yeah, exactly. So honestly, for this, what I had actually this situation with somebody that wanted just a change at home, and I used this method, and I gave them a list of feelings and a list of needs, so they can understand better. This is the first step of what's going on inside of them. And then, yeah, exactly. I asked them to really think during the next week, like, in the situation when actually they are asking like the spouse maybe to not bring brownie or anything at home, to really try to understand what needs, what's feeling like, what is the person feeling and what need isn't being fulfilled. This is, I think, the first step, because it's super hard to use the method if you actually you cannot explain the way you're feeling and the needs that aren't being met. And then it's really because actually the situation you gave, it's really, I remember that I told my dad this, and he told me, you need to resist to the temptation. So you see, he got really offended because I was actually like stopping him from doing something for me, you know, basically, I don't know, something, well, I would do this. This is what I did with the client back then. And then I actually gave this person really the method. We talked about the method, how it's clear with the 4 steps, and to go through the moment that this person know how to express their feelings, like what they're really feeling, what needs, to really use the method to make the spouse maybe buy less ice cream, or maybe like to make a change at home, you know, but yeah, this is what I did back then, and it worked really, really well.
Can you spell out like what it would sound like though? Exactly what it would sound like? So the person's coming in and they are frustrated with the spouse for bringing foods that they need to avoid, and they're having a hard time avoiding the foods. And so they're getting angry, and they're maybe making accusations or judgments that you don't care about me, you're bringing food into the house. So how could you, like, specifically, what might they say differently? How could you walk them through it?
Exactly. I understand what you're saying. I think that the first of all, which is also through this method that I understood it, is that everybody, as much as it doesn't look like, everybody is trying to get a positive result with what they're doing. So I would first think, like, when my spouse is bringing this, which I really want to eat, but I'm trying not to, I would really think, okay, it depends if it's for him or if it's for all the house, you know, but if it's really to help you like lose weight, I would really say, like, the first thing, being empathetic towards his behavior, like what he's doing, like, thank you so much for bringing, you know, that I love it. Like, to really like empathize on this, really, that it's amazing that he's doing it. And then saying, like, you bringing ice cream, like you're doing it, what's going on is that I'm feeling, for example, I'm feeling very frustrated because I really, really want to eat. And actually, I'm working on being healthier. You always need to ask yourself why, you know, why do you want to, for example, to lose weight? Probably you know this better than me, but you can think as a well coach. But like, for example, the person, she doesn't want just to lose weight, you know, why, the big why behind it is maybe to feel healthier, to live longer life, maybe to run, I don't know. And then you can really use this for the need. Mm-hmm. My need of being healthier is really important to me, and it's not being fulfilled because I see the ice cream and I really want to eat and I feel frustrated. So I'm really asking you, please, like, could you stop buying ice cream, or maybe buy it like every 10 days? It's also possible to find a middle, you know, when you ask for this kind of thing. Like, if you bring it this way and you say, maybe to be always action oriented, you know, to look for the solution, but really I would say, and like, could you bring it maybe every 10 days? I really doubt that somebody will say, I'm bringing as much as I want. Or then he needs to go to a coach, you know?
Yeah. Well, I like the variations there. So in the beginning, like, the technique or the method would be to state the facts. And you did it in a clever way to start with, which was acknowledging the nice gesture. So, but sticking to the facts. You brought the brownies home, or you brought the ice cream home. So it's just the facts, but you added a twist, which was, and they look delicious, and thank you.
Yeah, because
that was nice.
Yeah, I think that also, I'm telling you, when you think again that people are really doing their best, even if you think that they're really not helping you, like when you're first coming, like, from this place of, he's saying all the time, Marcia, come from a place of love and understanding, you know?
Yeah.
He's saying this a lot. So it's true that when you come and you say, like, for example, it's so nice of you to think about, like, the family, to think about me, because you know I love brownie, and you're right about that. Yeah. But then when you're sharing that this is what's happening, and unfortunately it's not having the feeling that probably the other person wants really the other one, like, to feel good, to eat and to feel good, but in this moment it's not bringing the feeling that it's actually want to feel. So when you see that it's not working the way you want, and you bring it like this, like your need is not being met,
Yeah.
I really thought, at least with this client, it worked really good. Well, I hope she didn't come back, so I hope. No, but I'm kidding. She really, I think that it's powerful because, again, it's putting like back on the focus on you. You are the problem.
Yeah.
And you're just asking for help, you know. But
yeah. And I love the way that you with the idea of this being kind of like a modular method, that in the fourth step, when you made the request to would you not bring, but then you didn't leave it there, you kept your mind open to possibilities or options, or it's not black and white. So that was another way to kind of expand the method. When you're first learning, it's very black and white almost, to get the idea of it.
It's true. I think it's a good idea also to really like ask maybe in the middle, you know, for example, when it comes for food, like someone that is coming to you for like this situation that at home, to try not to bring this kind of food. I think that also if it's a habit, you know, to make it maybe just a bit less. I remember that I read something about it. I don't remember where, but that we cannot usually like change from, for example, if you don't feel too good, you cannot necessarily feel super good the next minute. You have a neutral moment in the middle. So this is maybe the same, you know, when you used to buy ice cream every 5 days, maybe to go back to like every 10 days, it's already good, not to be in extreme, you know.
Yeah. So it's a nice option that we can find something that works for both of us.
For sure. And I think that actually the person, if she's convinced like about this method and the way that it's like being more like focus on herself, like the feelings, the needs, like this person will feel more relaxed, like less on the defense, like you bought brownie again, you know. And the other one, it's contagious, you know, the way you feel. If you feel more quiet and relaxed, if you're talking to someone else, like the other one won't be like getting super mad, because you're like, you know what you're doing and you feel good. It's really contagious. I think this is what I realized, and I realized it in my with my clients. So yeah,
I think maybe it's so much communication happens non-verbally too, that when our energy changes, then that gets, our vibration changes, our frequency.
It's true. But they said also, I don't know if you know about this for NLP, you know, they have this method like synchronization, that you also need to synchronize with the other one. Like, for example, it's a really good tool. Like, for example, if the other one is telling you, but I brought you ice cream, you can say, yeah, thank you so much for the ice cream. Like, you need to stay on the same level, you know, like when you fight with someone and the other one is telling you, he's sharing like, relax. Nobody ever relaxed from this sentence, relax, you know. But if you're like, for example, the other one, if you're saying, look, it's so nice of you for bringing the ice cream, like it's touching me, you really take care about us, but like the problem is that you're bringing the ice cream, so I feel this way. I don't think that people will get mad. They will just like try to understand, and maybe
so anyway, you're setting a tone then with you're setting a tone with the energy and the
and assertiveness a bit, like still like you know what's good for you, but you're still asking for help, you know, because most of the time it's people that are at home that really love you, you know. So I think that there is a way we can work with this, but it's, as you said before, it's not black and white, but for sure there's nothing to lose with trying, you know, with the method.
Now, I wanted to spend just a little bit more time going back to something we talked about earlier, which was how using communication techniques, whether it's the nonviolent, or you mentioned NLP, what does that stand for?
Neuro-linguistic programmation. Sorry, it's in French. I have it in PNL, so it's it's like to work on the brain. It's a method, you know, to not only work on the brain but understand the models of like communication. It's really, really interesting also.
So those kinds of techniques, how do they influence or help us with building confidence and feeling more confident?
So in my opinion, and this is how I can talk for myself, I really think that the moment that I know more like in communication, like what I know, when I will be able to be better at the way I'm reacting, the behavior I'm going to have, I feel more self-confident because I know that I'm going to be in control in the situation, you know. So this is, for example, in this method, I'm not, first you need to understand the way you're feeling, the needs that not being fulfilled. And I always say, I'm saying a lot of things, no, but I really always say that when we know ourselves better, we are also building our self-confidence, because we know what's going on inside of us. Like we can be 100% who we are, you know, and feel comfortable. I think that one of the really a feeling that we have with family and friends, it's like we feel love, we feel good because we are really loved for who we are, you know. So self-confidence comes really from this place. We can build it because when you know yourself better, and you know how to communicate better and get the results that you want, it will build your self-confidence, because you will know that you can do this. You have the ability, you know, to have great communication. And again, it's always why do you want great relationship? Because why do you want great communication? Because you want to have fulfilling relationships, like to connect deeply, you know, with people. So, and honestly, it's not always working perfectly, this method, you know, nothing's perfect. But when you try a bit, you really like get the hang of it, and you're trying and you see already the results. You're getting better results than when you just ask like the socks to be away because you're getting super mad. Like, for sure it's helping, and then you are also more in control. Yeah, this is the connection to self-confidence. What do you think?
Well, I that word control, it makes me think of, well, what are we controlling? I guess to me it makes me think of controlling our own feelings, getting what we need and feeling safe, so that, you know, being in control of my feelings and feeling safe. Because if I have a temper outburst, you know, and get angry or get into a fight with somebody, or an escalation, then there can be some sadness or shame or other things, bad feelings that come later, and maybe creating a vicious cycle.
For sure. And it's super shame, for example, shame is a feeling that is really hard, you know, to feel self-confident. When you feel shame, it's touching really deep to the self-esteem. And I saw you talked about it with was it with Alan or Kevin, about self-esteem?
Oh yeah. Self-esteem.
So following you. So it's really, I think it's not easy, because shame, it's exactly what we say. With this situation, you have control a bit of the situation and what do you want instead. But it's true that when it comes to, for example, you don't know really, you have, I would say, like outburst and everything, like anger. It feels like it's not you know, it's not yourself that is reacting, which is super hard, because you just want to be you, but at the same time, you don't want to be you if you're like this, you know?
Well, then it's ego and trying to protect, you know, yourself. So
exactly. But then it's another topic that I love about like emotion, how to not resist it. And there was like 8 steps also of with emotions, how to deal with negative emotion. And I remember this step, and I'm always telling myself, like before I got super mad, and I try to listen, like to know that the emotion won't stay, you know, like it's a feeling. They say it's a vibration in your body. It's not the intemperament, like that it's not gonna stay forever, you know. And just by not thinking about this, doing something else, 2 minutes later, you already forgot, you know.
Yeah. I have one more thing I want to ask you about before we wrap up for today. And I didn't warn you about this, but it's come into my head a couple times about what do you think about meditation as a technique for helping to I guess deal with your emotions and deal with your self-awareness?
Amazing. I'm buying. Now, meditation, it's funny you're saying this, because I decided to start again because I used to do it a lot. Meditation, to connect to yourself, like to be more focused, to be more concentrated, to know what's going on inside of you, is amazing. We can do it just 2-3 minutes per day. The difference when you think about worrying, when you think about stress, it's like the benefits are just amazing. And for sure, for all of these things, for example, before we even know what am I feeling, what needs, like everything before even entering the steps of the method, just sit, even do 2-3 minute meditation, which people think I need to think about, like I need to have an empty mind, but you can still have thoughts coming. Just be a spectator of what's going on, and then you can have a better perspective over the situation. Like, how are you really feeling? Like, what part in your body, where does it hurt, you know? And then what need is not being fulfilled. So meditation is really, really amazing. I think it can work really good. Are you meditating, you?
I'm working on understanding it, and I do. So my where I've come to with meditation is understanding it just the way you said it. It's being aware. So you're not trying to get rid of all thoughts. You really can't get rid of all thoughts. It's just noticing them and just being in that present state. So it isn't really a state. It's not like I'm going to get enlightened and have no thoughts, or, you know, be that kind of but it's more of a trait than a state. And being able to see the situation as it is, maybe feel the rush of cortisol, you know, the cortisol that you feel, with, when something stressful happens and you are going, how you would typically act, or maybe out of habit act, and be able to stop the train.
Exactly. But I think everything is really related, when you think about it, because when you are more concentrated on yourself, there are people, that don't feel good just being alone with themselves, but then it's really hard, to be more self-confident, to, for example, to know yourself better. It's really a circle. Like, you need to know about yourself better, like feel good about yourself, like understanding your reaction, be able to communicate better. It's all connected, and meditation is really the middle that will make you really feel like one person, but feel comfortable again being who you are. You can see it's important for me to be comfortable. So
Yeah. I think taking that time to really shift your thinking and being into the present, kind of out of your head, can help with biochemically as well in the brain, the way the brain works, and really getting out of your fight or flight and into your more thinking brain.
For sure. I really agree with this. And really, like, there's nothing better really like to be introspection. Like, it's really important to try to understand what's going on. And we are always busy with so many people, we have appointment, we have an agenda full of meeting with other people, but we should really take a bit more time for sure to be with ourselves. And this method is amazing because it's really asking you to be with yourself, to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed our episode with Tamara Pflug, Get Confident, Get Happy podcast, and personal-development-zone.com. We talked about nonviolent communication in part 1 and part 2. This is the Totally Well Show, and your host, Joyce Strong. Thanks for tuning in.